In Jamaica, dengue on the rise, while in the United States, do not trust the poll. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. Yes, people, let me begin by saying stop listening to the polls and believe them. Here is why. Every day since 2016, the polls have been wrong. In 2020, the polls put Trump and the Republicans up to 12% in the polls to win. And look at the hiding they got, losing so much seats in states they were said to be easy win, which never happened. They lost the presidency and also the popular vote by almost 10 million. President Biden won 360 electoral votes to Trump 232 in 2020. Then in November of 2021, we heard of the red wave that was supposed to sweep the country. Never happened. As of 6 races, the Republicans won 3, Democrats won 3. Then in 2022, we heard about the big red wave that was going to take over the House and the Senate. Well, we saw the Democrats winning the Senate but lost the House by a slim margin of 3%, which is like 7 seats, with the Democrats winning in several red states that were won by Trump in 2020. Right now, they control the House, and it has been the most dysfunctional government body in the history of America. They just took another beating on Monday in elections held in states that normally vote Republican after the same polls predicted that the red wave was coming again. They lost miserably and are now quarreling and blaming each other for that loss. Polls do not vote. People do. Last time I checked, intelligence won over stupid and dunce. Polls cannot vote. You can, and that is what counts. Meanwhile, over in Jamaica, the number of confirmed cases of dengue fever in Jamaica continues to rise. As of November 6, the country has 3,147 suspected, probably unconfirmed cases. 87 of those have been verified. This is an increase from the 694 confirmed cases recorded at the start of the month. There were 72 hospitalizations within the last week. There's 9 dengue-related deaths, 7 of which are suspected and 2 confirmed. Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness, provided the news during a media briefing yesterday morning. Opposition spokesman on national security Peter Bunting rejects Prime Minister Andrew Holness' argument that the parliamentary opposition's failure to vote on extending prior states of emergency has led in an upsurge of crime in St. James. In reaction to the recent outbreak of violence in St. James, Prime Minister Holness announced a state of public emergency on Wednesday. Mr. Holness claims that the opposition is not collaborating with the administration and that the country should cease giving confusing signals to criminals. But Senator Bunting, on the other hand, feels the blame game is being utilized to divert attention away from the government's failure to successfully combat crime. He said if an 8-year-old government with more resources than any previous government is blaming the opposition after 8 years, it's time to find another government. They have utterly failed at it, and now you can either put up or shut up. Prime Minister, stop making excuses and blaming others, Mr. Bunting argued. And it is very much the truth. The JLP ran a campaign on this very same issue that if people voted the JLP back into power, they would be able to sleep with their doors and windows open. Now we have record amounts of murders all across the island. The Kingston Western Police said that they have been making progress in their effort to target criminal gangs behind the recent spike in murders and shooting across the division. Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, head of the division, said that 2 men linked to a double murder in the Rosetown community were charged on Wednesday. 2 members of the Bentley Lane gang were charged. They are Nevada Lions, also known as Guanbad, the boss of the Bentley Lane gang, and another top-tier member, Gwen Howell, also known as Roy. According to reports, the murder victim, 36-year-old Charles Davis, and 32-year-old Maurice Williams, were standing in the Rosetown neighborhood on October 21 when they were ambushed and shot by the accused men and their buddies. The prosecution, in the meantime, has now agreed to accept a reduced plea of manslaughter in the case of Casey Ann Blair, the woman accused of killing her husband, Constable Damian Blair, in May. This was revealed at a hearing in the Home Circuit Court yesterday morning. Mrs. Blair, who is competent to plead but has mental health issues, was charged with murder, unauthorized ammunition possession, and unlicensed firearm possession. She used her husband's gun and shot him in a domestic dispute in Mandeville earlier this year. Meanwhile, a cab driver was shot in the foot following an incident with police in New Kingston soon after 12 p.m. yesterday afternoon. According to an eyewitness, the cabbie parked illegally at a restaurant on Knutsford Boulevard before heading inside to buy some food. When he returned, a police officer allegedly requested he hand over his keys in an attempt to seize his vehicle. The operator, however, resisted and was reportedly shot in the right foot by the lawman. He was then taken away by police to receive medical attention. Onto sports, Cavaliers have now stretched their unbeaten run against Harborview to 7 matches following a comfortable 3-1 win in their rescheduled Jamaica Premier League clash yesterday at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. Christopher Ainsworth, Jerome McCleary, and Antigan Jalamaro Calvin were on target for Cavalier, while Omar Thompson pulled one back for Harborview in the 62nd minute. Cavaliers were beaten 1-0 by Montego Bay United in their opening JPL game in Montego Bay on Sunday, but they have now chalked up their first win and extend their dominance over Harborview this season. Onto schoolboy football in the Dacosta Cup, where only 8 teams are left standing in Group 1, which consists of former champions Clarendon College, Glenmuir High, Manchester High, and Christiana High. Tomorrow we'll see the second game in the round of 8, and we'll see Clarendon College going for the second win when they play Manchester High School. In the first game, Clarendon College scored a massive 4-0 victory over Christiana to gain 3 points, while Glenmuir will want to stay close to Clarendon with a second win as well when they face Christiana, who will be going all out for a win to make amends of the beating they got from Clarendon College. Glenmore, they earned 3 points after a 2-0 victory over Manchester High in their first game. In Group 2, where we have BB Coke, Dintil Tech, Cornwall College, and Garvey Massio will have their hands full when they face fellow Clarendon team Dintil Tech tomorrow. Garvey Massio had a big 4-0 win over BB Coke, while Dintil beat Cornwall College 2-0. Cornwall College and BB Coke will square off in the second game, and both will be going all out to get a win to stay in step with the 2 top teams, Garvey and Clarendon College. And we are now in the quarterfinals of the Manning Cup with 2 groups, each team playing each other once. In Group 1, we have Stats, Mona, KC, and St. Catherine. And today we will see Kingston College with 4 points from a win and a draw. They will face off with St. Catherine High, who have 1 point from a loss and a draw. Today will determine who stays and who goes. St. Andrew Technical, who are also on 1 point from a win and a loss, will face Mona, who are on 4 points from a win and a draw. In Group 2, which have JC St. George's, Hydel, and Tivoli, will play their game on Saturday to determine the same with Hydel and Tivoli. Hydel have 1 point from a draw and a loss, while Tivoli are already out after losing their 2 games that they play. If Hydel win and JC lose, then Hydel would advance. But if JC win, they're out. But if JC draw, then goal difference will decide. St. George's, who are on 4 points from a win and a draw, will battle with Jamaica College, who are clutching at a straw with 3 points after a win and a loss. St. George's look the most likely team to advance, and it would take a miracle for both Hydel and JC to advance without them. Anyway, you're going to have a good weekend, everybody. Don't forget that the best Manning Cup and Dacosta Cup reports takes place on this radio station. If you ever missed the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.